Now at 10, holiday travel is picking up in the 4 states.
I've been flying since before 2020. It was more packed than last year for sure.
We'll look at what you can expect before taking to the skies and the roads this year. And for 40 plus years, he's maintained his innocence. Today, a judge agreed, and now Kevin Strickland is a free man.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This week is one of the busiest for travelers. Last year, due to COVID-19, not many people were flying over the Thanksgiving holiday, but the Joplin Regional Airport says that's changed this year. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky spoke with the airport's manager and a traveler.
The Joplin Regional Airport says they're preparing for a surge of travelers this holiday season, something they're already seeing during the week of Thanksgiving.
We are seeing fairly substantial loads going out of here. Started last weekend, and we'll anticipate those through the rest of this week.
The change was even more noticeable for those traveling.
I've been flying since before 2020. It was more packed than last year for sure. I got to my gate fine. In Chicago, it's a little different. It's a lot busier than the Charlotte airport. So I had about 10 minutes to get to my connecting flight. That was hard.
This is a major shift from last year, according to airport manager Steve Stockham.
Last year, we were in the middle of a pretty high COVID peak. There was a lot of folks that chose to stay put, obviously not get in large gatherings and those types of things. I think those folks that have been vaccinated and have kind of moved on from that situation now are moving around a lot more. We are seeing fairly substantial loads going out of here.
Stockham says the biggest issue travelers may face isn't at the Joplin airport, but at the many hubs Joplin flies to, like Chicago and Denver.
I would suggest staying inside security and not going outside, because trying to rescreen and get back into security is going to be difficult, especially at some of the major hubs.
The biggest thing he recommends for all travelers to have this holiday season is patience.
You're going to have to be prepared to wait in some of those instances, and I just suggest everyone to be as patient as possible.
In Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
The airport manager also stresses the importance of making travel plans in advance, as flights at the Joplin Regional Airport are now booked through Sunday. Holiday travelers who opt to hit the road will face high prices at the pump. The national average for gasoline right now is $3.40 a gallon. That's 3 cents more than a month ago and $1.29 more than a year ago, 81 cents more than 2019. In our area, the average price is a bit lower. In Missouri, it's $3.12 a gallon. It's $3.05 in Kansas, $2.96 in Oklahoma. The White House hopes to help lower the price of gasoline. President Biden today announced the release of 50 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. A White House release says it's part of a group effort involving China, India, Japan, South Korea, and the United Kingdom. It's because the price of oil is determined on a global market and is based on supply and demand. Supply is largely determined by output decided on by the OPEC cartel, which is made up primarily of Middle Eastern oil-producing nations. The coordinated release of oil is an attempt to undermine OPEC's control of the market. At the height of the pandemic last year, oil traded below zero as producers struggled to find locations to store the oil they had extracted. In recent weeks, the price of fuel and inflation have become hot-button topics for the Biden administration. Checking in with Doug Heddy. A bit cool out there, but pretty nice overall.
Yeah, at least we got quite a bit warmer for us today as we warmed all the way up into the upper 60s for highs. Plenty of sunshine, a little bit on the breezy side. We had the south winds at about 10 to 20, but we started at 37, 67, so 12 degrees above where we should be for this time of the year. We still have clear skies right now. It looks pretty good, but you can see clouds increasing central, western Kansas, down through the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles. That is the beginnings of our next storm system, which will start to affect us by this time tomorrow evening. But ahead of it, temperature is pretty good. It's breezy, but we're sitting into lower 50s. These southerly winds will actually keep our temperatures up a little bit for us tonight as we only drop back to about 51. 55 by 10, 61 by noon, back up to 65, but thunderstorm chances tomorrow evening. We're going to take a look at that here in just a bit.
Catch you then. Thanks, Doug. While a lot of businesses are having trouble finding new employees right now, it's a problem some local law enforcement agencies have been battling for years. The Jasper County Sheriff's Office faces recruitment issues, and with the construction of the new jail, they're in need of even more staff. Joplin Police Department is down 13 officers right now. Captain Will Davis with the JPD says they have an incentive plan in place they've had it for a while that's helped with some recruitment.
We will hire a person on and send them to the academy, and we'll pay for those academy costs, whereas any other individual may have to pay that out of pocket if they send themselves to the academy.
Both Joplin and Jasper County are searching for officers and deputies. If you're interested in a law enforcement career, you can reach out to either agency to get more information. A former Joplin middle school teacher will spend 20 years in prison for enticing a minor to engage in sex. Federal judge in Springfield handed down Amanda Schweitzer's sentence today. Those 20 years will be served without the possibility of parole, and will be followed by 15 years of supervised release. The 13-year-old victim, who was a student of Schweitzer, reported Schweitzer sent nude photos of herself to the victim and had sex with the victim on at least 2 occasions. Kevin Strickland has been behind bars for more than 40 years, but tonight the 62-year-old who's maintained his innocence for the duration of his time in prison, tonight he's a free man. A Missouri judge today ruled that Strickland was wrongfully convicted for 3 murders. Jackson County prosecutor Gene Peters Baker and other legal and political leaders worked to free Strickland because they said evidence used to convict him had been recanted or disproven since his conviction back in 1979.
I have changed. I'm not necessarily angry. It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, I think I've created some emotions that you all don't know about just yet. I'm gonna have to put a name on them. I've interacted a bunch: happy, joy, sorrow, fear. All those. I'm trying to figure out how to put them together. But yeah, I think I've created a couple that y'all don't know about yet.
Attorney General Eric Schmidt fought Strickland's release, saying he believes Strickland's guilty. Strickland was convicted in the April 25, 1978 deaths of 28-year-old Larry Ingram, 20-year-old John Walker, and 22-year-old Sherry Black. Tonight, the city of Brunswick, Georgia, is anxiously awaiting a jury's verdict in the Ahmaud Arbery murder trial. 3 white men are accused of chasing down and murdering the 25-year-old black man, claiming they were trying to make a citizen's arrest. Omar Villafranca has the latest.
Ahmaud Arbery's mother said a prayer and walked into court as the state delivered its closing rebuttal before handing the case to the jury.
When 3 people chase an unarmed man in 2 pickup trucks with guns in order to violate his personal liberty, who gets to claim, I'm not really responsible for that? Under the law in Georgia, no one gets to say that. Everybody is responsible.
Prosecutor Linda Dunikoski had the last word, telling the jury that even though Travis McMichael shot and killed Ahmaud Arbery, Gregory McMichael and William Roddy Bryan are just as guilty for chasing Arbery in their trucks.
Doesn't matter who actually pulled the trigger. Under the law, they're all guilty, even of malice murder.
Of the 9 women and 3 men on the jury, only one of them is black. They are deliberating 9 counts against each defendant that include murder and aggravated assault. Defense attorneys say they feel good about their case.
Now we'll see what the jury feels is justice, and we will accept the verdict, whatever it is.
In appeal, we're going to win. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Roddy's walking out of that courthouse today.
The Arbery family is cautiously optimistic for a conviction.
I know we're going to get the verdict on these men.
God has brought us this far, and he's not going to fail us now. Amen. We will get justice for Ahmaud.
The jury deliberated for more than 6 hours. The jury foreperson told the judge they are working toward a verdict. They've gone home for the night and they'll continue tomorrow morning. The suspect in the Waukesha, Wisconsin parade tragedy appeared in court today to face initial charges. Darrell Brooks is accused of barreling through the event with his car Sunday. Prosecutors today said a 6th person, a child, has died. More than 40 others were injured. Brooks is charged with 5 counts of first-degree intentional homicide. Still ahead, the pandemic is still raging and the flu could be a big problem this year. We're going to hear what health experts are saying. And later, McDonald County welcomes in Joplin basketball as the Eagles kick off a new season with a new coach. Flu outbreaks are already popping up in some parts of our nation, just as the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention issues a report about the impact a severe flu season may have on our already vulnerable healthcare systems. Reporter Jen Sullivan shows us why experts are warning that this flu season might be worse than last year's.
Flu season may be getting underway, and health experts are concerned about the spread of the virus this year.
It's very possible we'll experience a more severe flu season than we did last year. Many experts are predicting that.
Family doctor Jennifer Cottle says the flu is back after essentially taking a break last season, when COVID-19 put a bigger emphasis on public health measures like hand washing, mask use, and social distancing, which helped keep flu activity low. The CDC recommends the flu vaccine for all people 6 months or older and says that it is safe to receive both the COVID-19 vaccine and the flu vaccine at the same time.
If you can do it conveniently in one visit. So whatever it takes to get both of them, go ahead and do it. If it's one visit, it's perfectly fine.
We're already seeing clusters of cases popping up in different parts of the country. Last week, the CDC confirmed it's helping investigate an outbreak of more than 500 flu cases among students at the University of Michigan. That's the biggest single outbreak so far. Experts say the misconception that the flu shot makes people sick often keeps them from getting it.
If you don't feel well after the vaccine, sometimes it's merely our response to the vaccine. And also remember, it takes about 2 weeks for the flu shot to actually develop protectiveness in our body.
Meanwhile, a recent report from the CDC shows influenza viruses may pose a risk to healthcare systems already overburdened by the coronavirus pandemic.
The last thing we need is for there to be even more burden on the healthcare system and people getting further ill.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Flu is estimated to cause about 710,000 hospitalizations and up to 61,000 deaths each year in the U.S. Experts say flu season typically peaks between December and February, but it can continue through May. Later, the Frontenac Raiders are state championship game bound, and tonight we're going to hear from them ahead of that big game.
Plus, some rain chances roll in for us tomorrow. We're going to check that out coming up. It turned out to be a pretty nice Tuesday for us today. We have plenty of sunshine and temperatures great into the upper 60s. 4 afternoon highs a good 10 to 12 degrees above where we should be for this time of the year, which, hey, we'll definitely take. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resorts. Looks good outside right now. We still have clear skies, but clouds will start to increase as we go through the overnight hours tonight. Look at these afternoon highs. Anywhere from upper 60s to near 70. Once you get out across Kansas and Oklahoma. And then over the past few hours, we've dropped back, of course, but we're still in the low to mid 50s. And I think we'll stay above the lower 50s as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. So it actually looks pretty good. We're going to stay fairly mild due to the south winds, which have been increasing through the daytime hours today. Most of us 10 to 20 miles per hour, but we are still getting gusts. Even though it's dark, usually the winds diminish a little bit, but we're still getting gusts in that 20 to 30 mile per hour range. So it's going to be breezy tonight. It's going to be breezy again through the daytime hours tomorrow. 53 south of 17. Humidity is at 55%, but clear skies. Nothing is going on here. We'll continue to have clear skies the next few hours. Then clouds will start to increase, which you can see happening out across central Kansas down through central Oklahoma. Here's our next little wave. Not super strong, but stronger than what we have seen over the past week or so. As it rolls out, it will give us rain chances and also cool us down by the time we head into Thanksgiving. Clouds increase tonight. We hang lower 50s. Clouds increase tomorrow morning. We warm into lower 60s. Cloudy tomorrow afternoon. We hold into the mid 60s. I think most of the day will be dry. 51 to start, 61 by noon. High temp is 65. Southerly winds 5 to 15, but we are going to have gusts at times, 25 upwards to 30. During the evening hours, scattered showers pop up. Embedded within these showers, we are going to have a few random thunderstorms. I don't think anything very strong, definitely nothing severe, but you can see the showers, few random thunderstorms take over by late tomorrow evening. Let's go shortly after midnight. Most of the rain is done on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side. Missouri and Arkansas still getting periods of rain. Let's go to Thanksgiving morning. The rain is gone, but we're cooling down. The clouds break up. Temperatures kind of cold. We struggle to warm up on Thanksgiving, but that's okay. Most of us are going to be inside throughout the day. All right, rainfall amounts with this next system, not extremely heavy. I think most of us, though, a quarter of an inch, upwards to a half an inch, but we are going to have some isolated areas with 3/4 of an inch of rain, especially in our southern counties. 65 tomorrow, most of the day dry. Rain moves in tomorrow evening. Thanksgiving, rain is out. Colder temperatures return. 30s in the morning, 42 by 9, 44 by noon, a high temp of only 47 degrees, but we'll have mostly sunny skies by the afternoon. As we go through the holiday weekend, no complaints. 56 Friday, 63 Saturday, 56 Sunday, back to 70 next Tuesday.
Maybe a chance to get outside and walk off a little bit of those calories we will have accumulated.
Yeah, you got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, nice days to do it, no complaints, so you better do it.
Yeah, I will think about it very hard. Thanks, Doug. Four States Clean Air Alliance is looking to the future. In a meeting, officials discussed what they plan to accomplish in 2022. City of Joplin created the alliance after the EPA said Joplin had dangerously high levels of ground ozone. Officials say they're doing much better since forming the group.
That's going to probably be one of the topics today that we'll be discussing is trying to develop over the next few months, trying to develop what our plan will be for our action steps for the next spring and next summer.
Because of the pandemic, this is the group's first meeting since May. Coming up in sports, the Frontenac Raiders aim to bring home a 3A state football championship this weekend. We're going to hear from the team. And the Joplin boys open the basketball season at McDonald County, aiming to get their new head coach his first win. Jacob Leonard has the highlights next.
The Frontenac Raiders are just 4 days away from playing for a football state championship. The Raiders face Andale in Hutchinson on Saturday for the 3A state title. Now, Andale, undefeated heading into the weekend. Frontenac, meanwhile, is 10-2. Now, the Raiders definitely have a little momentum coming off arguably their best performance of the year. In the state semifinals last Friday, Frontenac beat Holton 32-13, holding the Wildcats to their lowest point total of the season. Now, they'll need another performance like that, facing an Andale team Saturday that likes to run right over people.
Saturday it'll be good smash mouth football, and that's the way we like it.
They control the clock, they control the ball. It seems like their offense is on the field a lot, so we're going to have to do that to them, run at them, take care of the ball, keep their defense on the field, and just try to win the field position and turnover battle.
We're big up front, and our linebackers are real good getting downhill, and we just love physical football, and that's just part of being part of a Frontenac team. We love each other like brothers, and we're just willing to get it done together.
Well, this season is the beginning of a new era for Joplin High School boys basketball. The Eagles are entering their first season under head coach Bronson Shockey, who joined the program from Riverton High School this offseason. Shockey and the Eagles get things started on the road tonight, facing the McDonald County Mustangs. A good start for McDonald County. Eli McLean gets the tough finish. Then kick out goes to Pierce Harmon. He knocks down the three for the Mustangs. On the other end, Joplin responds all right. Through some traffic, Eagles, though, down 3 after 1. Joplin would take the lead in the second. Terrence Gibson cleans up his own miss there. Then Gibson working in the paint again. Only needs one try that time. Joplin wins tonight 62-58. Bronson Shockey gets his first win as the Eagles head coach. To Carthage now, home opener tonight for the Carthage girls facing Hillcrest. Kiana Yates, 8 points in the first quarter. Carthage up 5 going to the second. Now in that second frame, Landry Cochran knocks down the jumper. Tigers get the lead to 13 with that. Sophie Shannon good in the second quarter. Shannon scores 8 in the quarter. Carthage lead is 9 at halftime. To the third now. Yates finds Cochran. Nice look there for the score. 8 points tonight for Cochran. Then Yates back to work scoring, drives and gets the floater to go. 21 points tonight for Kiana Yates. Tigers win their home opener by 10 over Hillcrest, 60-50. The Missouri Southern men are 2-2 in their first 4 games of the season. The Lions still have 2 non-conference games before MIAA play begins on December 2nd. The first of those is tonight on the road against Arkansas Tech. Tonight's game is final. Lions fall 74-54. Lawson Jenkins scores a team-high 14 points. Missouri Southern back home on Saturday hosting John Brown University. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Private First Class Ryan Sperry served in the U.S. Army. His hometown, Pittsburgh, Kansas. And we are proud to salute Private First Class Ryan Sperry. He's tonight's 4-state hero. Let's get a look at today's KOAM News Now Instant Poll. We launched this at 6. The question, how do your travel plans differ from last year? The majority of people, 56%, say, yeah, really about the same. A little more than a third say they'll be traveling less. The rest say they're going to travel more. This poll is now closed. Thank you for participating. Doug, chances of rain tomorrow night.
Yeah, especially tomorrow evening. We're going to see some showers, even if you embedded thunderstorms, nothing to worry about. But if you are traveling on the roadways tomorrow evening, be careful as the roads are going to be wet. Now, most of the day is going to be dry, just cloudy, and then cooling down for Thanksgiving.
Final sports notes.
Well, outside of Frontenac, we still have 2 local football teams still alive in the state playoffs, Webb City and Lamar. We're going to hear from the Lamar Tigers right here tomorrow night.
Looking forward to that. It feels like it's those teams every year.
It is. It really does.
Thanks for joining us. Don't forget our morning show tomorrow, 5 a.m. Let's make it a great one.